Grocery prices are outrageous these days, so today we are headed to the cheapest grocery store in my area, which is Walmart. I'm going to be filling up my cart with only $25 worth of groceries. I know $25 just doesn't get us very far at the grocery stores these days, but I'll be strategic about what I place in my cart. I want to make as many dinners as possible with those $25 worth of groceries. I want each dinner to feed multiple people, and I want each dinner to be absolutely delicious. They will be made on an extreme budget, but like I said, I want these dinners to be super duper good. I want them to be high in protein and nutrient rich. Let's get to the store now and bringing you along with me. Let's see if we could do this. I'm looking for foods this week that are a good deal and that do stretch. The first thing on my list is pesto. I have never done a budget week of groceries and included pesto, so this is going to be a good week. Next on my list is rigatoni pasta. I haven't cooked with rigatoni in a minute, so I'm excited about this rigatoni. Next on my list is tomato paste. If you look just for like the quickest tomato paste you can see, as you see, this one is $1.16, 19 cents per ounce, which is really expensive for tomato paste, but a lot of the time store brands are just significantly cheaper. As you see, this Great Value one is only 86 cents for the entire can. A can of diced tomatoes is also on my list. I don't know if you know this, but they do sell the cans of diced tomatoes with garlic and olive oil. That gives a regular can of diced tomatoes so much added flavor. Just like for the tomato paste, this mini can of corn is well over $1, but if you buy the store brand, it is significantly cheaper. It's just crazy, the price difference, and it's like the same thing if you look at the ingredients, same exact ingredients. A lot of times they're even packaged at the same facilities, like store name brand and like big name brand items. I'm just shocked at the prices of groceries. I remember when Jiffy used to be about 50 cents, and that wasn't even too long ago. I swear everything is just going up in price. Now I'm in the meat department. If you've seen my other budget videos, you know that I do like this festive brand of ground turkey for only $1.99, but I glanced over and I do see this ground chicken for only $1.96. I've never tried it before, so I'm going to give it a shot this week. Now for corn tortillas, there's like a ton of corn tortillas in this bag, so I'll pick up this bag of corn tortillas. I absolutely love cheese, and you can never go wrong with Colby Jack cheese, so I'll just throw that in my cart. I'm sure I'll find use for it. I know a lot of budget recipes tend to be on the boring and bland side, but not these ones. I try to make my budget recipes as delicious and nutrient rich as possible. Let me tell you, the other day I was craving these Mayocoba beans. They're highly nutritious and filling. They're kind of like creamy and they absorb seasoning super well, so we're getting these beans for today. Next, I'm going to pick up 1 can of green enchilada sauce. Let's head over to the frozen veggies now. I'm going to pick up this bag of frozen veggies. I do prefer like frozen veggies over canned veggies just based on the taste. Now I'm going to also pick up this bag of broccoli cuts. They're just frozen broccoli cuts for 94 cents. If you look at the broccoli florets, they're $1.16 for the same amount of broccoli. So it's a lot cheaper to get the cuts. Next, I'm picking up this bundle of green onions along with a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes. Here's a rundown of everything that I'm picking up to hopefully stay in my $25 budget. I first have my 1 pound of ground chicken, Colby Jack cheese, broccoli cuts along with my basil pesto, my Mayocoba beans along with my frozen mixed veggies, russet potatoes along with my corn muffin mix, and then I have my pasta along with the mixed chili beans, corn, green onions, and a can of green enchilada sauce. I also have my onion, 2 cans of chicken that I picked up, corn tortillas, diced tomatoes, tomato paste, and white rice. I'm genuinely so excited about the amount of food that I picked up today for just $25. Food has been outrageously priced recently, so let's see what we can make with all this food. The first recipe we're creating with our groceries is this fancy chili pasta. So to a pot on the stove, add in a tablespoon of olive oil, then add in a small amount of the onion that we got from the store, just dice it. Along with our can of corn, just drain that can and add it in. Cook to char the corn for a couple of minutes. That will give the corn an added flavor. It will also give the onion extra flavor as well. But while this is cooking, just to this bowl, I'm adding my corn muffin mix, and then I'm also going to add in a little bit of water and oil oil. I'm not adding in an egg just because I didn't grab an egg from the store, and I find that it doesn't really need an egg if you don't have an egg on hand. Give this a stir, and now that my water is boiling just in a pot on the stove, I'm going to add in my half a pound of rigatoni pasta. So not this whole box, just half of it basically. So now that that pasta is cooking, back over to my corn muffin mix. I'm just making this into like cookies, so like corn muffin cookies. I added it onto my pan and I'll bake this for about 10 minutes or until it's golden brown. But now that my corn is charred, I'm adding in my entire can of tomato paste. Just add it right in there, and then you're going to add in your water. I'm using about 3/4 cup of water, and then you're going to stir this well just to get that water and tomato paste mixed well together. After you're through with that, you're going to add in your can of mixed chili beans. I love these cans of mixed chili beans. They have some seasonings in them. I find them to be really good. Also add in some salt, pepper, cumin, oregano, and paprika. You're going to give this a stir, and you want to let it simmer for 5 minutes up to 20 minutes. Just let it simmer. I like to let mine simmer with the lid on, basically until that pasta is through cooking. Once the pasta's finished cooking, just stir it right into that sauce. It's like that delicious chili sauce. Make sure the pasta gets coated well. And now my corn muffins are just like out of the oven. They're kind of like corn cookie muffins. I haven't really made corn muffins like that, but I definitely recommend them. They're so good in that like flat cookie form. Anyway, I just shredded a little bit of cheese to sprinkle over the top of our bowls. After you plate them up, you can enjoy your chili. Let me tell you, this is an absolutely delicious filling dinner. My husband didn't even realize this was like an extreme budget dinner. It is so good. Those corn muffins are definitely a great addition to the recipe. Like I said, they don't need an egg. This one is 10 out of 10, especially being on such a tight budget. You can't go wrong with a loaded baked potato for dinner, so now that is what we are making with our ingredients. I have 5 russet potatoes right here that we just got from the store. I washed them, now I'm poking holes in them. I'm going to bake them in the oven. I love making them in the slow cooker though, but since I'm only doing 5 today, baking them in the oven is just fine. If you're making a large amount of russet potatoes, just recommend doing it in your slow cooker. But I just drizzled them with a little olive oil and garlic salt. Garlic salt is my favorite seasoning to use for baked potatoes. I just find the skin to be so good when I sprinkle garlic salt over the top. But I'll bake them on 400 degrees for 60 minutes. When they're almost finished cooking, just add about 2 tablespoons of butter to a pan on the stove with your drained can of chicken, along with your steamed bag of broccoli. So I just steamed mine in the microwave, then added it in. I also sliced up 3 green onions, so I added those in with a half a teaspoon of salt, pepper, and then a half a teaspoon of paprika and onion powder. Give this a stir and let this cook for about 5 minutes on the stove. It's going to give the chicken so much great flavor. Same with the broccoli. It's just going to make everything so flavorsome. But after the cooking time is up, just add in the remaining Colby Jack cheese that you have left. Give it a stir, and if you do have heavy cream on hand, which you absolutely don't need, the cheese will melt down just fine like this as you see. But if you do want to make it a little creamier, add in a couple tablespoons of heavy cream, stir it in, and then you could serve this up. But if you don't have heavy cream on hand, of course, that is completely optional. I just wanted to show you what it looks like with the heavy cream. But here's my baked potatoes out of the oven. They are just absolutely delicious. We topped ours with a little bit more green onions. This is high in protein from the chicken. The broccoli has so many nutrients in it, and that cheese sauce is phenomenal. If you're looking for a baked potato recipe, let it be this one. You will love this one. It's also made on a very tight budget. Now we're getting started on this 1-pot pesto veggie dinner. So for this recipe, I'm going to use about 4 of my russet potatoes. I'll peel them and dice them into smaller pieces. I do prefer, like, when I do peel my potatoes for like 1-pot dishes, I find the skin to be a little bit rough sometimes. But over to the pan on my stove, I added a tablespoon of olive oil along with a small amount of our onion. Now I'm adding in my 1 pound of ground chicken. Just add the chicken right in there, and then you'll break the chicken up and just
cook it through. You'll want to cook the chicken completely through before you move on to the next steps. You could of course do this recipe with ground turkey, ground beef, or really any meat substitute. Now I'm adding in my 1 cup of frozen mixed veggies. I do still have some veggies left in that bag, along with the potatoes, 1/2 cup of water, and 1/4 cup of my pesto. Then you're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a dash of pepper. You're going to give this a stir, and you do want to let this simmer on your stove for about 20-25 minutes. You do want to stir it often just to make sure nothing burns to the bottom of the pan. If you do find it needs more water while it's simmering, just add in 1/2 cup more water until those potatoes are tender. You basically want to cook those potatoes through. Once your potatoes are tender, you could serve this easy dinner up. Who said you don't have to be eating good on an extreme budget? This dinner is phenomenal. That pesto is not overpowering at all. This is a good one. Now we're making this pesto pasta. This is just a simple basil pesto pasta with veggies. So to this pan I added oil, and then add your remaining frozen mixed veggies in the bag. I ended up using all of those veggies left in the bag. Just to let the veggies cook, I like them to be a little bit like golden on the outside. And then to this pot of boiling water, add in the remaining rigatoni. I'll admit I used a little more than 1/2 pound of the rigatoni for the chili pasta, but it's fine. There was enough pasta in the end. Once the pasta is tender, I added in 1/4 cup of my pesto, give it a stir. Once those veggies are tender, this dinner is ready to be served. I just love pesto pasta like this, but if you do want to bulk it up a little bit and add some like protein, you could always add a can of chicken to still stay on a very tight budget. This one's bursting with flavor. Now I'm batch cooking my Mayocoba beans. If you're wondering how Mayocoba beans compare to pinto beans, they're both great sources of plant-based protein and fiber. They're great meat substitutes, and they're just really good for you, though Mayocoba beans may cause less digestive discomfort than pinto beans. I know sometimes pinto beans cause like tummy issues for some people, so I do recommend you trying Mayocoba beans just to see how they work for you if pinto beans cause you some digestive discomfort. But I just rinsed my beans and then add them into my large pot just with 8 cups of water, a little bit of salt, onion powder, cumin, paprika, oregano. You could really use any seasonings you'd like. I'm just really wanting to flavor these beans up just because Mayocoba beans really absorb seasonings super duper well, so they will become so flavorsome in the end. I'm also adding in a little bit more of my onion. I'll give this a stir, and I'm going to let this simmer covered for about 3.5 hours on my stove. I like my beans to be like super tender in the end and like creamy. I like to batch cook my beans, and I like to store them in my fridge once they completely cool down in an airtight container for 3 to 5 days, or you could store them in your freezer for 3 to 6 months. I always just like to store them in my fridge or freezer, batch cook them. It just makes them so easy. But now we're making these green chili enchiladas. So I have my rice right here, and after I cut my bag of rice open, I noticed a little like pebble in my rice. So I'm just going to be using about 1 cup of rice for these enchiladas, but it's always good to look through your rice and clean it, and your beans. So rice and beans, just look through them, clean them thoroughly, just because they are grown on the ground, so you never know what's in the bag. Anyway, like I told you, I'm just using about 1 cup of my rice for this recipe. I'm going to cook up my rice just in the Instant Pot with a little over 1 cup of water. You could cook up your rice however you'd like to, but I just found this to be easy for this night's dinner. I'll press the rice button, and I'm going to let my Instant Pot do all the work for me. Here's what the cooked rice looks like. I'm adding it to about 2.5 cups of my Mayocoba beans that I cooked up. I also added in between 2 to 3 sliced green onions and 1/3 cup of my green enchilada sauce. Give this a stir. This will be the filling for the enchiladas, and this is a very good filling. It's super high in protein from those beans, and it's just got a lot of flavor in it. But I have my corn tortillas right here. Corn tortillas tend to break super easily when they come in bags like this, so what I like to do is I like to damp a paper towel, and then I like to add my corn tortillas just into the paper towel. I like to wrap the paper towel up around the tortillas super tightly, and then I microwave it for about 1 to 2 minutes or until those tortillas are warm. This will help the tortillas not break super easily when you are trying to roll them into enchiladas. I have a large baking dish right here. I'm going to pour a little bit of the enchilada sauce just to the bottom. That will give the bottom of the enchiladas flavor. It will also just help the enchiladas not stick to the bottom of the pan. But grab your corn tortillas, fill them up with plenty of that rice and bean filling. I like to basically overfill mine, and then just place them next to each other in the baking dish. And then I'm going to drizzle a little bit of oil over the top after I'm through rolling up all of my enchiladas. I don't love soggy enchiladas, so what I like to do, like I said, is drizzle a little oil over the top, and then I like to bake these without any sauce over the top on 400 degrees for about 8 minutes. Once the baking time is up, I like to just take them out of the oven and then drizzle the remaining enchilada sauce over the top. That will help the enchiladas not become soggy in the end, and then I am going to brush the enchilada sauce just over the top like that. Bake this for 15 more minutes, and then you can enjoy your dinner. We definitely didn't miss the meat in this meatless meal. Those Mayocoba beans have so much protein in them. They'll leave you full for hours. This dinner is bursting with flavor. It just so happens to be so affordable. Now we're making this pesto potato chicken skillet. I have about 3 potatoes left, so I just peeled them and I cut them into smaller pieces. This is how much of my onion I have left as well, so I'll just cut this remaining onion up. To this pan on the stove, I have a little bit of oil in it. I added my onion. Next, add your drained can of chicken, potatoes, and then almost all of my can of diced tomatoes. I didn't use all the can just because I do want to save a little bit for my tacos that I might be making later this week. Anyway, now add in your rice. I just seasoned my rice with a little bit of bouillon powder. That will give the rice a lot of added flavor. It'll give this dish a lot of flavor in general. It's just 1 cup of uncooked rice that I cooked up in my Instant Pot. Then I added in about 1 to 2 tablespoons of basil pesto. Give this a stir, then add in about 1 cup of water. Give this another stir, and you're going to let this simmer covered, stirring occasionally for about 20 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. Once your potatoes are tender, your house is going to be smelling so good. You could serve this simple dinner up. That basil pesto gives this dinner so much flavor. The onion mixed with the rice, the tomatoes, the potato, the chicken, everything works wonderful together, and I was just so happy about this dinner. It also made for so much food on such a tight budget. Now we are making these tacos. This one is a very simple one, but it might be one of my favorite dinners. This one's a good one. So I have about 2 cups of my Mayocoba beans right here. I'm just adding about a tablespoon of taco seasoning to them, and then add in the remaining rice that you just cook up that you have in the bag. So stir these ingredients together. I'll microwave this for a couple minutes just to heat everything through, just because my beans are cold since they've been in the fridge. Now I'm going to heat up a couple tortillas at a time, just in a pan with a little bit of oil on my stove. Heating up your tortillas like this will give your tacos so much added flavor. It will make your tacos taste significantly better in my opinion, but we just topped ours with a little bit of the diced tomatoes that we didn't use in last night's dinner. These tacos are unreal. I can't believe how many different recipes I made with just $25.
I'd love to have you over here, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video like this. Bye for now.